Discuss legislative control over delegated legislation. Ans. It is not only the right of the legislature, but also its duty, as principal, to see how its agent, executive, carries out the agency entrusted to it. Hence, parliamentary control over delegated legislation should be a living continuity as a constitutional necessity. The fact is that due to the broad delegation of powers and generalized standard of control also being broad, the judicial control has shrunk, raising the desirability and necessity of parliamentary control. Legislative control reinforces democracy by having delegated legislation reviewed by people's representatives. Thus, the underlying object of parliamentary control is to keep watch over the rulemaking authorities and also to provide an opportunity to criticize them if there is abuse of power on their part. Legislative control can be effectively exercised by I. Laying on table and 2. Scrutiny committee. I. Laying on table. The Parliament exercises a direct special control over the delegated legislation through the techniques of laying on the table of the House rules and regulations framed by administration. In India, there is no general obligation on the administration to lay the rules before the Houses. The consequences of non-compliance with the laying provision depend on whether the provisions in the Enabling Act are mandatory or directory. The laying procedure is provided with a view to enabling the legislature to supervise over the exercise of delegated legislation. In reality, however, even in spite of such laying requirement, the legislative control tends to become a fiction. Members have so many other important, urgent matters to deal with that they hardly find time to go into the question of delegated legislation. The very reasons which cause the growth of delegated legislation also account for legislative control becoming unreal. The Committee on Subordinate Legislation, with a view to bring uniformity in the laying procedure, made the following recommendations. That, in future, the acts containing provisions for making rules, etc., shall lay down that such rules shall be laid on the table as soon as possible. 2. That all rules shall be laid on the table for a uniform and total period of 30 days before the date of their publication. The committee, however, accepted an alternative formula suggested by the government, in which the government, instead of agreeing to lay the rules before Parliament prior to their coming into force, proposed to lay them after their coming into force, making them subject to such modifications as might be made by Parliament. There are several types of laying. 1. Laying without further provision for control. Here the Parent Act merely provides that the rules shall be laid before Parliament. They become operative from the date they are laid before the Houses, and in exceptional cases, even before they are so laid. 2. Laying with deferred operation. The requirement of laying is linked with postponement of operation of the rules, and thus Parliament gets more control. 3. Laying with immediate effect, but subject to annulment. Here the rules come into force when laid before Parliament, but cease to be in operation if disapproved by it within a specified period. 4. Laying in draft but subject to resolution that no further proceedings be taken. This is also a negative resolution procedure. Here draft of statutory rules are required to be laid before Parliament, but the Parent Act provides that the rules should not be made effective until a particular period has expired. 5. Laying in draft and requiring affirmative resolution. This belongs to the realm of positive resolution and provides a stringent parliamentary supervision over delegated legislation, unlike the negative resolution procedure. The draft rules do not become effective until an affirmative resolution approving the same has been passed by Parliament. 6. Laying with operation deferred until approval given by affirmative resolution. Here the rules are actually made, but they do not come into operation until approved by Parliament. There is virtually no difference between this procedure and a positive resolution procedure. 7. Laying with immediate effect, but requiring affirmative resolution as a condition for continuance. This form of laying is used where prompt operation of delegated legislation is essential, but strict parliamentary supervision is also necessary. According to the Committee on Delegated Legislation, the statutes contain 4 methods of laying. I. Requirement of mere publication of rules in the Official Gazette. 2. Requirement of such publication and laying on the table. 3. Over and above the aforesaid 2 conditions, some statutes allowed modification by Parliament. And 4. Requirement of laying of rules for a specified period before they are published in the Official Gazette. 2. Scrutiny committees. As discussed above, laying on the table has not always been held to be mandatory. Even if that requirement is complied with, mere laying of rules before Parliament would not be of much use unless the rules were properly studied and scrutinized. Therefore, with a view to strengthening parliamentary control over delegated legislation, scrutiny committees are established. In India also, there are 2 scrutiny committees. 1. The Lok Sabha Committee on Subordinate Legislation. 2. The Rajya Sabha Committee on Subordinate Legislation. The function of these committees is to scrutinize and report to the respective houses whether the powers to make regulations, rules, sub-rules, bylaw, etc., conferred by the Constitution or delegated by Parliament are being properly exercised within such delegation. The Indian Committee on Subordinate Legislation has made inter alia the following recommendations and suggestions. 1. Power of judicial review should not be taken away or curtailed by rules. 2. A financial levy or tax should not be imposed by rules. 3. Language of rules should be simple and clear and not complicated or ambiguous. 4. Rules should not be given retrospective operation unless the Parent Act has expressly conferred such a power. 5. Legislative policy must be formulated by the legislature and laid down in the statute, and the power to supply details may be left to the executive and can be worked out through the rules made by the administration. 6. Discriminatory rules should not be framed by administration. 7. Rules should not travel beyond the rule-making power conferred by the Parent Act. 8. There should not be inordinate delay in making of rules by the administration. 9. The rules framed by the administration and required to be laid before the House by the Parent Act should be laid before Parliament as soon as possible, and whenever there is inordinate delay, an explanatory note giving the reasons for such delay should be appended to the rules so laid. 10. The final authority of interpretation of rules should not be with the administration. 11. Sufficient publicity must be given to the statutory rules and orders.